Hey guys, Ethan here from Extreme RC 4x4. I hope you don't mind the sound of the printer running, just getting some parts done. Today what I did was I removed the old, these are the first set of wheel hubs that I made for this truck out of 1/4 inch aluminum. What I did today was install the wheel hubs that are made from 1/8 inch aluminum, so as narrow as I can make this truck, that's where we're at right now. I wanted to make it narrow because it's supposed to look like a factory work truck, and the offset that the wheels have from the body right now is pretty good in my opinion. Not absolutely factory, but definitely close. So doing that, they're just pin drive hubs and they just screw onto these RC 4-wheel drive wheels. Pretty simple modification to really improve the looks. Having the correct width axles for a truck will really make or break the look in my opinion. And when we went to such a narrow wheel hub, I also had to make these 1/4 inch aluminum spacers that go on the outside of the wheel. And the reason that I needed to make those was because the axle shaft is not threaded all the way up to the pin. So you need to put this spacer in there, otherwise the nut here would run out of thread and then it wouldn't be tight on the wheel, so the wheel would be all loose on there. And once I got done with that, I went ahead and started replacing some of these cross members here. I had some cross members that were still the gray PLA material, and the reason that I'm replacing those is because the PETG, which is the black material that I have, it's more temperature resistant, and this truck is going to California, so this way you won't have any worries about it. If you are using that PLA, it can warp from too much heat, not just from being outside, but if you were to leave it in your car. And these are my magnetic body mounts. I went ahead and threw my stronger magnets in here. The stronger magnets are good enough to hold the body on for general trail use in my experience, because these trucks aren't built to be totally bashed around. If you were to do that, you definitely want some body pins. But I think I'm going to have to glue this front magnetic mount in. Normally there's a hole right here that goes all the way through, and that is for the blower that you can put on these clodbuster bodies, but you can see somebody already patched this. So this is going to have to be glued in here because there's just not enough material to thread into right there. I also got the rear one installed. This also uses factory holes in the bed. Uses the ones right here where the roll bar will usually sit if you get the roll bar from Tamiya. And in fact, the roll bars that I build for these trucks also sit right there. And once I got done with installing all of the black pieces, what I did next was take all of these, remove all of the links that I went through and built for this truck. I took them off and then sanded them down, and after I sand them, I use steel wool on them, just take out any other imperfections. The reason I wanted to finish those links is because I never went through and finished them in the first place, because I just wanted to make sure I got the wheelbase set correctly before I mess with making them all look pretty. So I did not finish this link right here because I believe it's going to have to be removed when I figure out the whole track bar setup for this truck, because I do want to do a track bar with the chassis mounted steering. Having a track bar will really improve the performance of the steering. So on this truck, when it only gets this much turning at the wheels, I'm not sure it's absolutely needed, but you can tell when the truck turns that it's pushing the axle side to side under the truck. So that's why I'd like to put a track bar under it. These are barrage axles, if I haven't mentioned it yet, and these aren't the parts that I base this chassis off of. I base this off of CR12 parts, so all the CR12 parts will just bolt right up. But for this case where I had to use barrage parts, I did have to make these links myself just to get the wheelbase correct for it. Thinking about what else. I also have to make this whole center transmission mount, as well as the battery tray is going to have to be custom for this barrage setup, since he's not going to use the AX10 transmission, which is what I normally like to run in these chassis. So hopefully that little 370 motor will push this all around okay. I don't think it's going to be too heavy of a truck, since he doesn't have anything else going on with it yet. The battery tray, it should be large enough to fit a full, LiPo battery on there, the full size packs, but I'm not sure yet because the battery that he sent me with this truck is a smaller size battery, so we'll see where that goes. I'm also going to be making a front bumper for this, which is bolted onto the frame, not bolted onto the body. The rear bumper here is bolted onto the body, and there's not really any issue with that. It's just that if I'm going to be building a bumper, I want to make sure that it's stout enough to take a beating. That's really what the bumper is there for, just to protect the body. Not going to go crazy with that. Just a simple bumper that looks close to factory, or just a bumper that you would see on this kind of truck, because he is going after the farm truck look. So just to show you guys why I decided to narrow up the width of these axles even more, I'm just gonna set the truck like this and articulate the suspension so you can see watching this rear wheel. As you can see, the tire now at this width just barely fits inside this fender. So on a factory truck, that's what you're going to see, is the tire tucking behind the fender here. And if I still had the wider wheel hubs on here, it would definitely be hitting this fender. We'd have to do some trimming in order to get this low of a stance. But as you can tell, the tire tucks in there nicely. And if we look at the front suspension here, how that's all working, we can get the front wheel in here, and there's no contact throughout the fender. And as we turn, there is no contact either, so that's good. We're not going to have to do any trimming. It's going to be a very stock looking truck. So I'll go ahead and make sure I keep you guys updated with the progress that's going on with this. I will have to sit down and take some time to redesign a center cross member to work with that transmission, and then after that I think the truck will be getting very close to done. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.